not to their maker, but as public wares, who seek to buy respect and reputation with lifted eyes and sighs of exultation. Such knaves are all too common. Yet, for the wise, true piety isn't hard to recognize. And happily, these present times provide us with bright examples to instruct and guide us. They're never ostentatious, never vain. Their religion's moderate and humane. They see no evil in their fellow man, but judge him as kindly as they can. They don't wangle and intrigue and conspire. And to lead a good life is their one desire. And the sinner wakes no rancorous hate in them. It is the sin alone which they condemn. Nor do they try to show a fiercer zeal for heaven's cause than heaven itself could feel. Your man is not their sort at all, I fear, and though your praise of him is most sincere, I fear you've been dreadfully deluded.
Now then, dear sister, is your speech concluded?
Well, yes.
Your servant, then.
Oh, brother, wait. There's one more matter. You agreed of late that young Valere might have your daughter's hand.
I did.
Oh, and set the date, I understand.
Quite so.
You've now postponed it, is that true?
No doubt.
The match no longer pleases you.
Who knows?
You need to break your word.
I won't say that.
Has anything occurred which might entitle you to break your pledge?
Perhaps.
Why must you hem and haw and hedge? The boy asked me to sound you in this affair.
It's been a pleasure.
But what shall I tell Valere?
Whatever you like.
What have you decided? What is your plan?
I plan here to be guided by heaven's will.
Oh, brother, don't talk rot. You gave Valere your word. Will you keep it or not?
Good day.
This looks to be young Valere's undoing. Go tell him that there's trouble brewing.
Marianne,
Yes, dear father.
a word with you. Come here.
What are you looking for?
Eavesdroppers, dear. I'm making sure we shan't be overheard. Someone in there could catch our every word. Ah, good. We're safe. Now, Marianne, my child, you're a sweet girl, tractable and mild, whom I hold dear and think most highly of.
I'm deeply grateful, father, for your love.
That's well said, daughter. And you can repay me if in all things you'll cheerfully obey me.
To please you, sir, is what delights me best.
Good, good. Now, what do you think of Tartu, our guest?
I, sir?
Yes, away your answer. Think it through.
Oh, dear. I'll say whatever you wish me to.
That's well said, my daughter. Say of him then that he is the very worthiest of men, and that you're fond of him and would rejoice in being his wife if that should be my choice. Well,
What?
what's that?
I...
Well,
Forgive me, pray.
did you not hear me?
Of whom must I say that I'm fond of him and would rejoice in being his wife if that should be your choice?
Why, of Tartu.
But father, that's false. You know, why would you have me say what isn't so?
Because I am resolved it shall be true, that it's my wish should be enough for you.
You can mean, father.
Yes, Tartuffe shall be allied by marriage to this family, and he's to be your husband. Is that clear? It's a father's privilege. What are you doing in here?
There's lately been a rumor going about, based on some hunch or chance remark, no doubt, that you mean to wed Mary Ann to Tartuffe. I've laughed it off, of course, as just a spoof.
You find it so incredible.
Yes, I do. I won't accept that story even from you.
You'll believe it when the thing is done.
Yes, yes, go on, sir. Have your fun.
I've never been more serious in my life.
Ha!
Daughter, I mean it. You're to be his wife.
No, don't listen to your father. It's all a hoax.
See here, young one.
Come on, sir. No more jokes. You can't fool us.
How dare you talk that way?
All right, then. We believe you. Sad to say. But how a man like you, who looks so wise and carries a putter of such splendid size, could be so foolish to...
Silence, please. My girl, you take too many liberties.
You can't be serious, sir, about this plan. What should that bigot want with Mary Ann? Fasting and praying ought to keep him busy. And in terms of wealth and rank, what is he? Why should a man of property like you pick out a beggar son-in-law?
That will do. Speak of his poverty with reverence. His pure and saintly indigence, which far transcends all worldly pride and pelf. He lost his fortune, as he says himself, because he cared for heaven alone, and so was careless of his interests here below. I mean, get him out of his present straits, and help him to recover his estates, which, in his part of the world, have no small fame. Poor though he is a gentleman just the same.
Yes, so he tells us. And it seems to me such pride goes very ill with piety. Such worldly arrogance will hardly square with meek devotion and a life of prayer. But this approach, I see, has drawn a blank. Let's talk then of his person, not his rank. Doesn't it seem to you a trifle grim to give a girl like her to a man like him? For if one's bridegroom isn't to one's taste, it's hardly an inducement to be chaste. And many a man with horns upon his brow has made his wife the thing that she is now. It's hard to be a faithful wife, in short, to certain men of a certain sort. And a father who gives his daughter to a man she hates must answer for her sins at heaven's gates. Think, sir, before you play so risky a role.
This servant girl presumes to save my soul.
You would do wise to ponder what I've said.
Daughter, we'll disregard this dunder head. Just trust your father's judgment. Oh, I'm aware I once promised you the young Valere, but now I hear he gambles, which greatly shocks me. What's more, I have doubts about his orthodoxy. His visits to church, I note, are very few.
Would you have him go at the same hour as you and kneel nearby to be sure of being seen?
I can dispense with such remarks, Doreen. Tartuffe, however, is sure of heaven's blessing, and that's the only treasure worth possessing. This match will bring you joy beyond all measure. Your cup will overflow with every pleasure. You two will interchange your faithful loves like two sweet cherubs or two turtle doves. No harsh word shall be heard, no frown be seen, and he shall make you happy as a queen.
And she'll make him a cuckold, just you wait and see.
What? Language?
Oh, he's made for horns, and what the stars demand, surely your daughter's virtue can't withstand.
Don't interrupt me further. Why can't you learn that certain things are none of your concern?
It's for your own sake, sir, that I interfere.
Most kind of you. Now hold your tongue, do you hear?
I can't, sir, for your honor's sake, let you make this ludicrous mistake.
You mean to go on talking?
If I didn't protest this sinful marriage, my conscience couldn't rest.
If you don't hold your tongue, you little shrew.
What? Lost your temper? A pious man like you?
Yes, yes! You talk and talk. I'm maddened by it once and for all. I tell you to be quiet.
Well, I'll be quiet, but I'll be thinking hard.
Think all you like, but you had better hold that saucy tongue around. Ah. Now, child, I've weighed this matter fully.
It drives me wild that I cannot speak.
Tartuffe is no young dandy, but still his person
He's as sweet as candy.
is such that even if you shouldn't care for his other merits,
If I were she, no man would marry me against my inclination to go scot-free. He'd learn before the wedding day was over how readily a wife can find a lover.
it seems you treat my orders as a joke.
Why? What's the matter? 'Twas not to you I spoke.
What were you doing?
Talking to myself, that's all.
Ah. One more fit of impudence and gall, and I shall give her a good slap in the face. Daughter, you shall accept, and with good grace, the husband that's elected. Your wedding day, why don't you talk to yourself?
I have nothing to say.
Come, just one word.
No, sir, I think I'll pass.
Come, speak. I'm waiting.
I'd not be such an ass.
In short, dear daughter, I mean to be obeyed, and you must bow to the sound choice I've made.
I'd not wed such a monster even in
Ah!
jest.
Ah.
There you
Oh!
Every time.
Daughter, this maid of yours is a thorough pest. She makes me sinfully annoyed and nettled. I can't speak further. My nerves are too unsettled. She's upset me so with her insolent talk. I'll calm myself by going for a walk. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Well, have you lost your tongue, girl? Must I play your part and say the lines you ought to say? Faced with a fate so hideous and absurd, can you not utter one dissenting word?
What good would it do? A father's power is great.
Resist him now, or it will be too late. But tell him, one cannot marry at a father's whim, that you shall marry for yourself, not him. That since it's you who are to be the bride, it's you, not he, who must be satisfied. And if his dear Tartuffe is so sublime, well, he's free to marry him at any time.
I've vowed so long to father's strict control. I couldn't oppose him now to save my soul.
Come, Mary Ann, do listen to reason, won't you? Valere has asked for your hand. Do you love him, or don't you?
Oh, how just of you! What can you mean by asking such a question, dear Doreen? You know the depths of my affection for him. I've told you 100 times how I adore him.
I don't believe everything I hear. Who knows if your professions were sincere?
They were, Doreen, and you do me wrong to doubt it. Heaven knows I've been all too frank about it.
You love him then?
More than I can express.
And he, I take it, cares for you no less.
I think so.
And you both, with equal fire, burn to be married.
That is our one desire.
What of Tartuffe then? What of your father's plan?
I'll kill myself if I'm forced to wed that man.
I hadn't thought of that recourse. How splendid! Just die and all your troubles will be ended.
Doreen, how harsh you are. It's most unfair. You have no sympathy for my despair.
I have none at all for people who talk drivel, and when faced with difficulties, whine and snivel.
No doubt I'm timid, but it would be wrong.
True love requires a heart that's firm and strong.
I'm strong in my affection for Valere, but coping with my father is his affair. If I defied my father, as you suggest, would it not seem unmaidenly and best? Shall I defend my love at the expense of brazeness and disobedience? Shall I parade my heart's desires and flow?
No, I ask nothing of you. Clearly, you want to be Madame Tartuffe, and I feel bound not to oppose a wish so very sound, dear God. Oh, how triumphant you will feel at having caught a husband so ideal.
Oh, do stop your teasing and use your cleverness to get me out of this appalling mess. Advise me, and I'll do whatever you say.
No. A dutiful daughter must obey her father, even if he weds her to an ape. You have a bright future. Why struggle to escape?
Doreen, I beg of you.
No, you deserve it. This marriage must go through.
Doreen!
No!
Not Tartuffe. You know I think him.
Tartuffe's your cup of tea, and you shall drink it.
I've always told you everything, and rely.
No! You deserve to be Tartuffified.
Since you mock me and refuse to care, I'll henceforth seek my solace in despair. Despair shall be my counselor and friend, and help me bring my sorrows to an end.
Come back. My anger has subsided. You do deserve some pity, I've decided.
Doreen, if father makes me undergo this dreadful martyrdom, I'll die. I know.
Don't fret. It won't be difficult to discover some plan of action. But here's Valere, your
just heard some wondrous news, regarding which I'd like to hear your views.
What news?
You're marrying Tartuffe,
I find that father does have such a match in mind.
your father. Now,
As just this minute said, it's Tartuffe he wishes me to wed.
can he be serious?
Oh, indeed he can. He clearly has his heart set upon the plan.
And what position do you propose to take?
Why, I don't know.
For heaven's sake, you don't know.
No.
What?
Advise me, do.
Marry the man. That's my advice to you.
That's your advice?
Yes.
Truly.
Oh, absolutely. You couldn't choose more wisely, more astutely.
Thanks for this counsel. I'll follow it, of course.
Do. I'm sure will cause your heart no remorse.
To give it didn't cause your heart to
I
break.
gave it, madam, for your sake.
And it's for your sake that I take it, sir. Ow.
Let's see which fool proves the stubborner.
So, I mean nothing to you. And it was flat deception when
Please, enough of that. You've told me plainly that I should agree to wed the man my father's chosen for me. And since you deigned to counsel me so wisely, I promise, sir, to do as you advise me.
No, 'twas not by me that you were swayed. No, your decision was already made. Although now to save appearances, you protest that you're betraying me at my behest.
Just as you said.
Quite so. And now I see that you were never truly in love with me.
Alas, you're free to think so if you choose.
Well, I choose to think so. And here's a bit of news for you. You spurned my hand, but I know where to turn to for kinder treatment, as you shall quickly learn.
I'm sure you do. Your noble qualities inspire affection.
Forget my qualities, please. They don't seem to inspire you over much, I find. Although, there is another lady I have in mind, whose sweet and generous nature will not scorn to compensate me for this loss I've borne.
I'm no great loss. And I'm sure you'll transfer your heart quite painlessly from me to her. You want to go, girl? Let's go right now.
I will do my best to take it in my stride, but the pain that I feel at being cast aside, time and forgetfulness may put an end to, and if not, then I shall pretend to. No self-respecting person is expected to go on loving once he's been rejected.
Now that's a fine, high-minded sentiment.
One to which any sane man would assent. Would you prefer, if I pined away in hopeless passion till my dying day, am I to yield you to a rival's arms and not console myself with other charms?
Again, then. Console yourself. Don't hesitate. I wish you to. Indeed, I cannot wait.
You wish me to?
Yes!
Farewell, madam. Your wish shall be my law.
Splendid.
And this breach, remember, is of your making. It's you who've driven me to this step I'm taking.
Of course.
Remember, too, I am merely following your example.
I see that plainly.
Enough. Go do your bidding then.
Good.
You shall never see my face again. Yes?
What?
What's that? What did you say?
Nothing. You're dreaming.
Ah, well, farewell, madam.
Farewell.
If you ask me, you're both as mad can be. You stop this nonsense now. I've only let you go so far to see where it would get you. Whoa there, Monsieur Valère.
What's this, Doreen?
Come here.
No, my heart's too full of spleen. Don't hold me back. The wish must be obeyed.
Stop.
No, it's too late. My decision's made.
Oh, boo.
He hates the sight of me. That's plain. I'll go and so deliver him from pain.
And now you run away, come back.
No. Nothing you say can keep me here. Let go.
She cannot stand the sight of me, I perceive. To prevent her further torment, I shall leave.
Again, you'll not escape. Don't you try it. Both of you, come here. Stop fussing and be quiet. Right here.
What do you want from me?
What is the point of this?
We're going to have a little armistice. Now, weren't you silly to get so overheated?
Didn't you see how badly I was treated?
Weren't you a simpleton to have lost your head?
Did you hear the hateful things he said?
You're both great fools. Her sole desire, Valere, is to be yours in marriage. To that I'll swear. He loves you only and wants no wife but you, Marianne. On that I'll stake my life.
Then why you advised me so? I cannot see.
On such a question, why ask advice of me?
You're both impossible. Give me your hands, you two. First you,
Why?
and then a hand from you.
What are you doing?
There. A perfect fit. You suit each other better than you'll admit. I tell you, lovers are completely mad.
Now come. Admit that you were very bad to hurt my feelings like you did just now. I have a just complaint. You must allow.
You must allow that you are most unpleasant.
Let's table that discussion for the present. Your father has a plan which must be stopped.
Advise us then. What means must we adopt?
We'll use all manner of means and all at once. Your father's addled. He's acting like a dunce. Therefore, you'd better humor the old fossil. Pretend to yield to him, be sweet and docile, and then postpone as often as necessary the day on which you have agreed to marry. Go to your friends. Tell them what's occurred. Have them urge her father to keep his word. Meanwhile, I'll spur her brother into action and get Elmira as well to join our faction. Goodbye.
Though each of us will do his best, it's upon your heart that my hope shall rest.
Regardless of what my father may decide, none but Valere shall claim me as his bride.
I'll be first content me so, come what will.
Lovers, their tongues are never still. Let's go.
One last word.
No time to chat. You leave by this door, you leave by that.
May lightning strike me even as I speak. May all men call me cowardly and weak. If fear or scruple holds me back from settling things at once with that great quack.
Now, don't give way to violent emotion. Your fathers merely talked about this notion, and words and deeds are far from being one. Much that's talked about is left undone.
No, I must stop this scoundrel's machinations. I'll go and tell them all. I'm out of patience.
Do calm down and be practical. I had rather my mistress dealt with him, and your father. She has some clout with Tartuffe, I've noted. He hangs on her word, seems most devoted, and may, in fact, be smitten by her charm. Pray heaven it's true. 'Twould do our cause no harm. She sent for him just now to sound him out on this affair you're so incensed about.
I want to hear this conference, and I will.
No, they must be alone.
Oh, I'll keep still.
Not you, I know your temper. You start a brawl and shout and stamp your feet and spoil it all. Go on.
I won't. I have a perfect right.
Lord, you're a nuisance. He's coming. Get out of sight.
I have an important religious announcement to make. It's very important. It's very, very important. Money is evil. Therefore, what I want you to do, I want you to reach into your pockets, reach into your bags, and give all of your dirty, sin-filled money to us. At intermission, put it in that green bucket. Thank you so much. Hang up my hair shirt and put my scourge in place. And pray, good friends, for heaven's perpetual grace. I'm off to the prison now to go share my last few coins with the poor wretches there.
Dear God, what affectation, what a fake.
You wish to see me?
Yes.
For mercy's sake, please, take this handkerchief before you speak.
What?
Cover that bosom, girl. The flesh is weak and difficult to control. Such sights as that can undermine the soul.
Your soul, it seems, has very poor defenses, and flesh has quite an impact on the senses. It's strange that you're so easily excited. My own desires are not so soon ignited. And if I saw you naked as a beast, not all your hide would tempt me in the least.
Girl, speak more modestly. Unless you do, I shall be forced to take my leave of you.
No, no, it is I who must be on my way. I've just one little message to convey. Madame is coming down and begs you, sir, to stay and have a word or two with her.
Gladly.
That had a calming effect. I think my guess about him was correct.
Will she be long?
No, no, that's her step, I hear. And here she is, and now I must disappear.
May heaven's goodness, who we infinitely adore, preserve your body and soul forevermore, and bless your days, and answer thus the plea of one who is its humblest votary.
I thank you for that pious wish, but please do take a chair and let's be more at ease.
I trust that you are once more well and strong.
Oh yes, the fever didn't last for long.
My prayers are too unworthy, I am sure, to have gained from heaven such a gracious cure. But lately, madam, my every supplication has had for object your recuperation.
You shouldn't have troubled so. I don't deserve it.
Your health is priceless, madam, and to preserve it, I'd gladly give mine own, in all sincerity.
Sir, you outdo us all in Christian charity. You've been most kind. I count myself your debtor.
'Twas nothing, madam. I long to serve you better.
There's a private matter I'm anxious to discuss. I'm glad there's no one here to hinder us.
I too am glad. It fills my heart with bliss to find myself alone with you like this. For just this chance I prayed with all my power, but prayed in vain until this happy hour.
This won't take long, sir, and I hope you'll be entirely frank and unconstrained with me.
Indeed. There's nothing I'd rather do than bare my inmost heart and soul to you. I'm not prompted by any mean emotion, but rather by a pure and deep devotion, a fervent zeal.
No need for explanation. Your sole concern, I'm sure, is my salvation.
Quite so, and such great fervor do I feel.
Oh, please, you're pinching.
Plus from excess of zeal, I never meant to cause you pain, I swear.
What can your hands be doing there?
Feeling your gown. What soft, fine woven stuff.
Please, I'm extremely ticklish. That's enough.
My, what lovely lacework on your dress. The workmanship's miraculous, no less. I've not seen anything to equal it. Ow.
Yes, quite. But let's talk business for a bit. They say my husband means to break his word and give his daughter to you, sir. Have you heard?
He did once mention it. But I confess I dream of quite a different happiness. It's elsewhere, madam, that my eyes discern the promise of that bliss for which I yearn.
I see. You care for nothing here below.
Oh, well, my heart's not made of stone, you know.
All your desires mount heavenward, I'm sure, in scorn of all that's earthly and impure.
Some glory clings to all that heaven has made. In you, all heaven's marvels are displayed. How could I look on you, O fair creature, and not adore the author of all nature? At first, I trembled lest this love should be a subtle snare that hell had laid for me. But soon, fair being, I became aware that my deep passion could be made to square with rectitude and with my bounden duty, either upon surrender to your beauty. You are my peace, my solace, my salvation. On you depends my bliss or desolation. I bide your judgment, and, as you think best, I shall be either miserable or blessed.
Your declaration is most gallant, sir. But don't you think it's out of character? You'd have done better to restrain your passion and think before you spoke in such a fashion. It ill becomes a pious man like you.
I may be pious, but I'm human too.
Aren't you afraid that I may take a notion to tell my husband of your warm devotion, and that supposing he were duly told, his feeling towards you might grow rather cold?
I'm sure, dear lady, that your exceeding charity will lead your heart to pardon my temerity, that you'll excuse my violent affection as human weakness, human imperfection, and that, oh fairest, you will bear in mind that I am but flesh and blood, and am not blind.
Some women might do otherwise, perhaps. But I shall be discreet about your lapse. I'll tell my husband nothing of what's occurred if, in return, you give your solemn word to advocate as forcefully as you can the marriage of Valere to Marianne, renouncing all desire to dispossess another of his rightful happiness. And
No! We'll not hush up this vile affair. I heard it all as I hid over there, where heaven, in order to confound the pride of this great rascal, prompted me to hide. Ah, now I have my long-awaited chance to punish his deceit and arrogance, and give my father clear and shocking proof of the black character of his dear Tartuffe.
No, dummy. I will be content if he will study to deserve my leniency. I promise silence. Don't make me break my word. To make a scandal would be too absurd. No, good wives laugh off such trifles and forget them. Why should they tell their husbands and upset them?
You have your reasons for taking such a course, and I have reasons too, of equal force. To spare him now would be insanely wrong. I've swallowed my just wrath for far too long, and watched this insolent bigot bringing strife and bitterness into our family life. Too long he's meddled in my father's affairs, thwarting my marriage hopes, and poor Valère's. It's high time that my father was undeceived, and now I've proof that can't be disbelieved. Proof that was furnished me by heaven above. It's too good not to take advantage of. This is my chance, and I deserve to lose it if for one moment I hesitate to use it.
Dummy!
No! I must do what I think right. Madam, my heart is bursting with delight. Say whatever you will. I'll not consent to lose the sweet revenge on which I'm bent. I'll settle matters without more ado. And here, most opportunely, is my cue. Father, I'm glad you've joined us. Let us advise you of some fresh news, which doubtless will surprise you. You've just now been repaid with interest for all your loving kindness to our guest. He's proved his warm and grateful feelings towards you is with a pair of horns he would reward you. Yes, I surprised him with your wife and heard his whole adulterous offer, every word. She, with her all too gentle disposition, would not have told you of his proposition. But I shall not make terms with brazen lechery, and feel